Hello students, welcome to my channel Maths with Pannu. Today I will teach you the topic of integration. So there are two types of integration. First one is indefinite integral and the second one is definite integral. Okay? So, in definite integral, we have studied in my previous video that integration of x to the power n into dx is equal to x to the power n plus 1 over n plus 1, and we write here c, that is constant of integration. Okay, and if we talk about the definite integral, then we write the same formula and we write the same process of integration, but there are lower and upper limits. Okay, and we, after taking the integration, we write these limits at the end of the answer. And first of all, you put b in the place of x. In this way, here you put b in the place of x, and after that you put a in the place of x. In this way you can solve your questions. To understand it, we can take example, like we have to find the integration of x to the power 3, and we have the limits like 2 to 4. Then how we can solve it? We use this formula and we write here 3 plus 1 over 3 plus 1, and after that we put the limits. Okay, now we can solve it as x to the power 4 upon 4, and after that we put the limits. And first of all, we put upper limit in the place of x, and after that we put lower limit in the place of x, and we can solve it. After that we get the answer. Okay, now we move on our next rule, that is by parts. This is very famous rule that is used in competitive exam also, and the second one is of chain rule. Okay, first of all we study by parts. In the derivative, when we take the derivative of two functions, then we apply the product rule. Okay, and if in the integration we have to take the integration of two functions, then we can use the rule by parts. To solve this, we have studied in my earlier video that we write the first function as it is, and we take the integration of second. Okay, after that we take the derivative of first function and we multiply it by taking the integration of second function, and after that we can take the whole integration. And how we can choose the first and second function? We can choose it by the method of I lead. I have told you what is the meaning of I. I means inverse function, L for logarithm functions, and A for algebraic functions, T for trigonometrical functions, and E for exponential function. Okay, now if we take the example, here we take x into e to the power x dx. So this is algebraic and this is exponential, and in the form of in the formula of I lead, you can see we see here we can choose it as the first, a as the first and e as the second function. So we apply here by parts. For this, We write here x as it is, and we take the integration of e to the power x. After that, we can take the derivative of x and integration of e to the power x dx, and after that we can take the whole integration. Okay, now to solve our question, first of all we write x as it is, and the integration of e to the power x is e to the power x, and after that the derivative of x is 1, and integration of e to the power x is e to the power x, and after that we can take the integration of e to the power x, and you know very well the integration of e to the power x is same, so that's why this is our answer, and we can add constant of integration. After that you can take e to the power x common, and after that you get x minus 1. And if you are given the limits like 0 to 1, then you can write here from the first you can write the limits, or you can put in the end also. First of all you put upper limit in your question, and after that lower limit in this way. Okay, and you need not to write c, and 1 minus 1 0, and we know that the value of e to the power 0 is 1, so e to the power 0 is 1, and we write here minus 1, and minus minus is plus. Okay, you can put the values from the first. You write here 0 to 1, 0 to 1, and you can solve it. And if you want to solve at the end, then firstly you simply solve the question, and then you can put the values. Okay, now we move on our chain rule. Okay, for the chain rule is very famous, especially in engineering classes and in the competitive exam, and it can make your length of the question becomes very short, and for the very short questions, it is very useful method. So let's start. In the chain rule, when you write your first and second function in this way, firstly you write your first function as it is, and after that you can take the integration of second function. Okay, and after that you put here the sign of minus, and after that firstly you write here the derivative of first function and double integration of second function, and then after that you write here the sign of plus, and you take the second derivative of this function, and after that you can take the third time of integration of second function, and again sign of minus, and so on. Okay, now we can see it in this question x square, and you can write here 3x. Okay, now first of all we write our first function as it is, because the derivative of x square will be vanished. Okay, after 2 or 3 steps we know that. For example, first of all we write here x square because it is our first function. Okay, and this is our second function. So first of all we write here x square, and you can see here the derivative of x square is 2x. After that the derivative of 2x is 2, and in the fourth step the derivative of 2 is 0, so we need not to continue after this. This is very useful technique. And after that, first of all you take the first integration of e to the power 3x. You can directly solve it. First integration, that is e to the power 3x upon 3. This is your first integration. We need not to apply the whole method in the competitive exam. and after that you can take the second integration of this function. Then you can take it e to the power 3x, because already you have 3, and in the second integration again you write 3 for the second time. Okay, and if you take the integration at the third time, then you write here the 3 at third time, and in the 0 you need not to write here. So we have the answer x square e to the power 3x upon 3, and we write here minus 2x e to the power 3x upon 9 and 2 e to the power 3x upon 27. Okay, so this is our answer by chain rule. Okay, and if you have the limits in the same way as we put in the previous question, you can put the limits and get your answer. So students, if you solve it by parts, then you have the long procedure, and if you solve it by chain rule, then you can finish it even a single line. Only method is that first of all you write first function as it is, and after that you can take the integration of second function, and after that you take the first derivative, second derivative, third derivative, and first integration second time, third time, and so on. And you can use the alternative signs like plus, minus, and so on. If you are doing multiple choice question, then you can apply this method, and if you are doing the subjective questions, then you can use by parts. Okay, but there is one important thing is that if the two functions have endless derivative and integration like e and trigonometrical function, then you need not to apply this method. This method is applying only for that algebraic questions whose derivatives are finished after some steps. Okay, so this is the main difference of the chain rule and by parts. So students, we will discuss its next types in my next videos. Thank you.